It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Bo, I do want to transition because this is one where I get very sentimental about. We just talked about this whole independence phase and how powerful, and a lot of people really, this freedom phase, people are aspiring to, and they might be surprised to find out we actually put a fifth level to the stages of wealth. And that's because we think beyond that financial independence, the freedom that's out there, there's actually what we call abundance. And, there's no small mistake that we've named our company Abound Wealth, that we've put a lot of time into thinking about the abundance cycle, is because this is different than that whole freedom phase and reaching financial independence, because we heard that in that phase, it was kind of doing what you want, when you want, how you want. This is completely different because this is going to focus on mindset. This is going to focus on it really is a level of wisdom where you do feel fulfilled, where you know what enough is, and you and this is, like I said, you're going to take, instead of going beyond doing what you want, when you want, how you want, you're actually going to know who you are, what you value, and what brings you purpose. Meaning when you wake up in the morning, what actually gets you excited to get out of bed? Because I think the more work you can put into that is beyond money. And that's so valuable. I think, now I'm going to be honest with you, most people I don't think make it to this level.
Right.
Since we know that half the population is not even going to make it to level one of our journey here. So to get beyond this freedom and financial independence, this is reserved for, it's a pretty small group of people, of even financial mutants. It's something to really pay a lot of attention to.
Yeah, I think a lot of people aspire for financial freedom, and I think even a lot of folks that get to financial independence kind of hang out in financial freedom. You're right, Brian. This is something very different, something much more fulfilling. This is what it's not. It's not a dollar amount. It's not, oh, you know what? I've hit $10 million net worth. I am at financial abundance. That's not what we're talking about. It's not a level of wealth in that aspect. And it's often not tied to even a specific financial goal. Oh, okay, well, I finally bought and paid off the beach house, or maybe I was able to pay for this, or I was able to accomplish that. There can be monetary components to it, but abundance, this level of wealth, money really is recognized as a tool that allows you to focus on those things in your life that truly are the most important to you.
Let's pivot and talk about how we know you're doing this right. One of the things I've already mentioned, kind of, you're content and satisfied, but that's an easy thing to say. I got to tell you, I think one of the biggest ways you can tell if you're doing this right is your motivation something that's internally generated? You have an intrinsic motivator. Or do you feel like, because if it's still coming from external sources, like you're still trying to keep up with the Joneses, or you still think that the way you look, the bigger house, the nicer cars, that stuff. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not driving nice cars, living nice. It's just, but that doesn't define you. That's the big part, is you understand, once again, back to enough, what contentment is. This is a state of mind, and this is where you really understand the relationship between resources, happiness, and purpose of why you're here on this planet.
Yeah, you begin focusing on what you love and what makes you happy, not what you think the world loves or what you think the world and society says should make you happy. You really begin to understand who you are, and like you said, Brian, what brings you purpose and fulfillment in this stage.
And look, in this last point that I make is because we're in this new modern world where it feels like more and more of social interaction, relationships has been kind of neglected. I think it also prioritizes who your friends are. Are you spending time with people that actually means something to? If you want to cry, go look at those charts that show you who you spend your time with through each stage of your life, and it will make you realize, hey, time is this super valuable resource that if you're not purposeful with it, it will just slip through your hands like the grains of sand going through, it'll be wasted. Yep. And that's the part I want you to know. Abundance is something you don't take for granted. This is going to take a lot of wisdom. It's going to take a lot of dedication to asking yourself why a bunch. So you kind of really understand who you are and really what gives you purpose and happiness and fulfillment. And so you can make sure you maximize that opportunity.
We say this all the time. Money is nothing more than a tool that allows you to do the things that you want to do and focus on the things that you want to do. And we think, in our opinion, there is a right way to do wealth, and there's sometimes often a wrong way to do wealth. It either doesn't lead to wealth at all or leads to a very empty and unfulfilling place. That's why we've tried to stratify these stages of wealth so you can understand, okay, where am I right now? What decisions am I making right now? And am I moving to the place that I ultimately want to be? Am I actually leveling up through the stages of wealth? And if you can do it that way, man, the journey gets so exciting.